meet you and become your mom. Not as much as you though. You didn't want to wait that long. You must have been dying to meet me. Maybe dying to meet me.
I didn't know about the premature charity until my manager reached out to you guys. After my song was released, he's like, no, I'm just reaching out to every single premature charity in the UK and in South Africa. In the States, he's gotten one. Why it's so personal, and like you said, I had preeclampsia when I was pregnant. In my case, it was late onset preeclampsia, even though I had all the signs. But I wasn't that clued up on preeclampsia, but I knew about it, but I never thought I would, get it. I don't think anyone would want to. No, everyone wants a perfect pregnancy, right? And a full-term baby, and you want nothing to go wrong. So I was 25 at the time, thinking, oh man, I've never been sick at all, so this is going to be a smooth pregnancy. And it wasn't in the beginning. Everything was good and I was healthy, and every checkup, everything was fine. And at my 32-week checkup, I went to my OB, and then she's like, she was checking everything as per normal, but I was sitting. So when you come in, they take your urine sample, and then before I even went into her office, and then I'm like, why are they taking so long? And we went in, and then she checked my blood pressure. And at that time, she knew what was wrong. And her eyes were so big because of how high my blood pressure was. And when she sat us down and she said, look here, we have preeclampsia. I started shivering because I was like, I didn't expect this. I just came here for my normal 32-week checkup, and now I have to hear this. So I was admitted. I won't forget, it was a Tuesday, the 13th of August. Yes, the 13th of August. I was admitted into hospital, and I've changed hospitals in that time, and it was just a hectic experience, but I didn't know how sick I was. And they didn't fetch him on that Tuesday. They actually, because I think they tried to prolong it to have the baby stay in a bit longer, and I was given steroids to strengthen his lungs. Sorry, our son was born on the 17th of August, 2019. As they explained to me, they're like, we might have to put him on oxygen, and once he comes out, but Luca came out screaming. I was just grateful for that. But my husband, on the other hand, he said it was not a nice experience because at the time I was sick. Luca was just born, so I didn't get that moment where they just showed him to me and I heard him cry, but I didn't get that first skin to skin moment at all. They just rushed him away, and they rushed me away, and my husband was like, he was just standing there and wondering what's happening, and they told him, oh, but you can go home. And he said that is the worst thing ever to have experienced, not knowing, like, is your son okay? Your newborn son? Is your wife okay? We were fine, and I'm so grateful for that. But in that time, I was in high care, so I was just below ICU. So I'm just grateful, and I'm really grateful to be on the side, because anything could have gone wrong. I had water on my lungs, my heart weakened. I was on medication for 6 months. I did an ECG scan. It was hectic, and I think obviously mentally it took a toll on me. Besides going through some mothers experience postpartum depression, and I think I almost went into it, but I had my support structure was too strong for me even to go into that, because they were always there for me. Yeah. And I always say this, where being a first-time mom and having a newborn, right, that is already hectic on its own. But being a first-time mom to a premature, it's on another level. To me, they're like, each and every premature mom can attest to this, that you were so scared of losing your child. You're like, okay, if I'm gonna go home, is a child gonna make it to 3 months? Like, hit the milestones. It's really hectic. And once they reach 1, you're like, it's like some sort of relief. But obviously, yeah. So some kids have complications and some doesn't, and but we're just grateful to have to have our son and to be able to at least have one child, because I said, I ain't going for another one. Nope. What I went through was too traumatic, and my health comes first. I know there's so many things that they can do to prevent, but I was like, no, anything can go wrong.
Everything's gonna be fine, that must be all the color, baby, no drama.
Seeing his development and all of those things, because I won't forget that day when I think it was about 6 months or 5 months, and we went for his pediatrician, and then she's like, do you know he's actually sitting? Because she knew obviously he was premature, and she's like, certain kids don't reach their milestones, and every time when we go to her for like, once a year for the checkups, and she does the checklist, she's like, she's so happy because he's reaching all his milestones, and I'm just grateful for that. And this is his first year in we say daycare. I don't know what you guys call it over there.
Mm-hmm.
His first year in daycare, and he's been doing quite well. And so what month are we in? This is his 5th month in daycare, and I can see the changes and developmentally and with how he communicates and all of that. So he's doing quite well. Keeps us on our toes, and we're so happy to see how he develops. My first gig after Luca was born was in December 2019. And funny enough, when I was pregnant, it was my busiest year ever. And so it had to come to a standstill, obviously. And yeah, so I took a break. I would say mentally, I really took a break from music. I didn't release any music in 4 years. But I feel like I'm more productive now that he's in daycare, because I didn't want to let him go. I wanted him to be with me for as long as I could keep an eye on him. And it was hectic, because any mother wants to protect their child. But I think because of our birth story, I wanted to protect him even more, like from the world, and not wanting him to do anything. I think I'm still like that. My family laughs at me, because I'm like, no, don't do that. He can't do this. He can't do that. So like, let him just be a child. But yeah, so to answer your question, music has helped me, especially with the song that I wrote, To Whom It May Concern. It definitely helped me, and I speak a lot, and I always speak about my experiences. I've had a support system. So where I could just talk and share my experience. And then I feel like last year I was like, no, I'm ready to share my story with the world and to just speak from my heart, But I did have help in writing the song. I had co-writers, Angelo Bagley, and then my husband is the producer of the song. Writing the song, coming up with the song. But the concept was fully mine, because I just wanted to share the story with a lot of prem moms and moms that are going through or that has pre-eclampsia. And I never know that this was such a big thing until I experienced it myself. At the time I was 25, so I was like, nothing really can go that wrong, I was prepared to give natural birth. I had all of this in mind. But things happen. But I'm also grateful, because when things happen, it shapes you differently. You think differently. You appreciate life much more than you maybe did before. So I feel like, they say things happen for a reason, and I could attest to it.
So now you're